Here.
Okay, we're going to rapid fire through these games, give you our best bets in these games if we have any. I got all my picks up over on gameon.locals.com. You will get them. I will put them out the day before. So, like, Friday's games will be out today. This is Thursday, but I already posted up there for my supporters. It's $2 a month. Over on Locals, all the picks and everything, but we're going to rapid fire through these. Creighton and Louisville. Louisville, 2.5-point favorites, minus 150 on the money line, total of 145.5. This is courtesy of Bet Online, by the way. This is just the odds I'm going to go through because this is a book I bet on. Crick, I know you like this Louisville team. Do you still like them in this matchup?
I do, man. I do. I'm gonna take the minus 2.5. I'm gonna lay the minus 115 on this one. I'm not gonna move it up 3.5 to get the minus 105 right there because it could be one of those games that lands on 3. But I ain't gonna take this Louisville team today. Minus 2.5. I'm probably gonna put a 2 or maybe even a 3-unit play on it. I like this Louisville team a lot. I think they're heavily underseeded. Creighton's been peaks and valleys. Still a good basketball team that knows how to win this time of year. But I like Louisville a lot, man. I do. I don't see any way Louisville loses this game today. So I'm going to wind up having a 2, maybe a 3-unit play on Louisville minus 2.5. I will lay the minus 115, a little more juice there. But I like the Cardinals.
Okay. And that's interesting. Real quick over in the Rumble chat. Patriot's not a premium member, but he's like, how am I still here? I didn't know this. Leslie says that mods get access to the premium of that channel if they're a mod of that channel. That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I get it, Patriot.
Noted.
Cheap. I get it.
You're still here, Patriot.
I get it.
Patriot's been here from the beginning, though, man. He deserves a little extra perks.
That's what I'm saying. You know me. I like to make things all free.
Mm-hmm.
As cheap as I possibly can. Only reason why we're doing this, because we have to meet the hours. We got to do 5 hours a month for this thing.
Right.
So I hate doing this, but we got to.
Got to do what we got to do, man.
Got to make the higher ups.
We got a boss too, man. Yeah, we got a boss too.
Yeah. I like this. I know everyone likes Louisville, which makes me think there's value on Creighton. I'm not going to bet it. I did pick it in some of my brackets, but my favorite is the totals. There's stronger data on these totals, and in the first round in general, first half unders are very profitable. But if you narrow that down to these early start times, it's even more profitable. So I'm just blindly betting. I was looking to see, how the average points these teams score in the first half and whatnot. And it's not every game that I'm going to, even though I think you could just go first half under in every game today and you probably come out positive. I was more selective with mine, but this is one that I'm going. I bet Creighton Louisville first half under 67, but I bet over 145.5 for the game. Ooh. I think we're going to get some feeling out in the first little bit. Early start time, feeling each other out, getting used to the court. And then how many times do we see in the second half where they just come out on fire? They score more points in the first 5 minutes of the second half than they do in the first 5 minutes of the first half,
Yeah.
Plus you got all the fouling and everything. Plus you got the risk of overtime and the fact that this is a close spread. I like. Now, if this was like Louisville was like a 15-point favorite, I wouldn't like the over as much. But since it's close, you expect it to be close at the end, which means more fouling, chance of overtime. So I'm going under first half, over for the game.
Yeah, I like that. That is something you're going to pay attention to, y'all. In these games with the closer spreads like this, you're always going to have the overtime factor. You're going to have the fact that a lot of teams don't want their season to end, so you're going to see a lot of fouls down the stretch to keep the game close and all that stuff. So you'll see a lot of points scored without the clock running. So be careful on your unders in these close spread games.
That's right. High Point versus Purdue is up next. I love this. Every 30 minutes we get a new game.
Yeah.
High Point is a underdog darling here against Purdue. Purdue is laying roughly around 7.5 to 8, depending on what your book. My book has 8, minus 360 on the money line. Total of 153.5. High Point has not played anyone. And they played one team in the last 2 or 3 years in the top 100, and they're going to go up against Purdue. Now everyone knows Purdue is loves to disappoint and let everyone down in the first round. A couple of years ago, famously as a 1 seed, lost to a 16 seed. So I understand. Fairleigh Dickinson. I understand why people like High Point here. I am on Purdue though. I don't think this. I think the hype and love on High Point. I'm fading the public love with High Point. It's one of those where you see when the books put out, people from books and stuff put out. This is where our action's at. and one of the top ones was like 73% of the bets are on High Point at plus 7.5 or plus 8. Which is hilarious because how many of those people even knew High Point was a school to start the season? You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
So I'm like, you guys are just
out there that knew that.
You're just betting off of hype and love and stuff that you see out there. So I don't know if Purdue can get margin, but I'm just going with value. And the fact that most places have it minus 7.5 and BetOnline has it at minus 8 makes me like it even more. That they're willing to put it at 8 and let you take 8 with High Point, if you so choose.
Yeah,
So
it's basically 8 on DraftKings. I mean, you got minus 7.5 for Purdue, minus 118, so it's basically minus 8.
Okay. Yeah, so I got Purdue minus 8 in this one. I got High Point Purdue first half under 72.5. Just because of it's an early start time. I'm just playing that trend.
Yeah, I can live with that. I don't know. I think I'm gonna wind up staying away from that game because I don't like to back the public. I did like High Point initially, but it feels like one of those games that Purdue could come in. They've been listening to people talk all week long too, and they might come out ready to go. So I might just wind up staying away from that damn game.
Okay. Wisconsin, Montana. Wisconsin laying 6. Well, what does my book have? My book has, Wisconsin laying 16.5 minus 2,300 on the money line. Over under of 153. What do you like in this Montana-Wisconsin matchup?
Not a lot here, man. I don't know a lot about this Montana team. I would lean to the over, but then you got the big spread where Wisconsin could blow them out. The only way I'd really like the over is if I thought Montana was going to be in the game and be able to put a little pressure on Wisconsin down the back end of the second half. I don't know if that's going to be the case, man. I don't know if we see a whole lot of fouls in this one. Could be one that Wisconsin winds up stretching out. Probably another one for me. A lot of these early games today, man, I'm going to wind up staying away from. I don't like laying these big spreads with these teams early on because you have the old upset factor and things like that. You know these teams are going to be hyped. So some of these earlier games, I'm not going to mess with them too much.
Yeah, I do like. Well, here's the argument for Montana. They were a pretty good team in their conference this year. They do have played several games at elevation. This game is going to be played in Denver because of their conference. They do play at elevation. But I can't remember what conference are they in? The
Montana, Big Sky or something.
Yeah. Anyways, their conference is like 0-23 straight up in their last 23 conference games. You know what I mean?
Oh hell. Yeah.
So I think everything points to Wisconsin here. I just don't know with this big spread if Wisconsin is going to want to get margin. They did just play on Sunday. And if you actually look at the numbers, the teams that play on Sunday that have to play Thursday, it's actually better than you think. So
yeah.
Of covering the spread. But they exerted so much energy in that game against Michigan that I don't know how much, especially since they got a game, they're going to have a game 2 days from now. So I decided to play Wisconsin minus 9.5 first half because I expect them to come out and just want to take care of business in the first half so they can kind of coast in the second half. And then I don't have to worry about margin at the end of the game and whatnot. So, and they're the better team.
They are the better team.
They're the way better team. So just give me Wisconsin first half minus 9.5 is what I'm on.
Yeah, I don't hate that. I don't hate that at all. That feels like a much better bet than the 16.5 for the game. Because you could see some weird shit at the end where they wind up shortening it up or something. Montana just don't want to let it go. And they're fouling, things like that.
Montana's not going to stop shooting and not stop trying.
Yeah, they'll be throwing.
I wouldn't be surprised if there's a buzzer beater Hail Mary 3 that
they backdoor covers or something stupid, some meaningless nonsense.
Yes.
Yeah, 100% that could happen in this one. I like your play on the first half there. I do. I like that.
Well, thank you, sir. Houston laying 28 against SIU Edwardsville, wherever that's at. Minus 9,000 on the money. Oh, by the way, I did play. I have 5 plays that I made, but that are 5% plays each on these big money line. I did not parlay the big money lines, but Wisconsin at minus 2,100 was one of my plays. Now, if you have a Kalshi account, you actually get better value betting it over on Kalshi.
Okay.
On some of these ones. So I would recommend betting it on Kalshi. But if you can't, Wisconsin minus 2,100 was one of my my 5%. Just throw 5% on it. Get a little bit back.
Okay, that's fair. I know Uncle Bob's got quite a few 5% plays up on over at Sports Picks today, so he got several that he likes a lot.
Yeah, these are just money on the floor. You know what I mean? It's just like
I will say this: this is not a 5% play, but he does have this play. He does like SIU Edwardsville. He took him at plus 29.5. It's gone down to 28.5 now against Houston. Maybe he's just figuring that Houston's not going to try to stretch this thing out. I don't think what worries me about that is if can SIU Edwardsville score against this Houston team. That's my biggest thing right there. Like I said, that's not.
I'm betting no, they can't because I got SIU team total under 48.5.
And I don't think that's a bad bet. I don't, because this Houston team, man, they're built different now. Are they going to be geared up and ready to go in this first game? In a game they know they're favored by damn near 30 points and they should walk away with it easy. Are they going to be out there playing top tier defense? That's the only thing that scares me. Maybe that's Uncle Bob's angle on this one. 29.5 is a lot of points. 28.5, whatever you get it, that's a lot of points to beat an NCAA tournament team by. But like I said, I just don't know if SIU Edwardsville is going to be able to score against this team.
Yeah, and I didn't want to have to worry about the spread in this one at the end of the game. So how I tackled it was the largest lead in this game is 26 or more at minus 290. I did a 3% play on that because I think there's a chance Houston does get up, but maybe there's a backdoor cover, because that is a big number. But I'm pretty confident that, and the odds say that Houston's going to be up by at least 26 some point in this game.
I think that's a safe bet.
Yeah.
At some point, I think they're definitely going to be up by that. Like I said, it's probably going to be like 65 to 40 or something.
I did see some. So I didn't bet it because it wasn't available at my bet or my book. But I did see another thing for the tournament. It says in this first round, what will the lowest scoring total be for any team? So they set the number at 45.5. Now SIU Edwards team total is 48.5, so you can go under that, but you can get the whole field because SIU Edwardsville might fall under for the 45.5, and you win.
Yeah, I agree.
But it was at even money. And if you look at the last 3 tournaments, it's gone under every single time.
I totally can see that, dude. Yeah, you get some of these teams that are really, really outmatched and playing against an elite defensive squad. I could totally see that.
So if that's available, I would recommend getting that for you. Alabama State and Auburn. Oh, by the way, Houston is another one of mine. I laid minus. I put 5% on Houston minus 15,000.
Oh,
could go wrong.
What could go wrong?
Alabama State versus Auburn. Auburn 32.5 point favorite, minus 9,000 on the money line. Wait, Houston's only minus 9,000 on the money line now too. Man,
I got Houston minus 20,000 on the money line.
That's crazy because it's only minus 9,000 now. Just on Bet Online though, it was 15,000 yesterday.
I got minus 20,000 on DraftKings.
Jeez, oh, what's going on? That's crazy. Anyways, Auburn minus 32.5, over under 149.5. You got anything in this game?
No, man, you got Alabama State play the other night, one little miracle at the end of the game in the first 4 matchup there. 32.5 is a lot of points. I mean, I think I kind of lean under in this game because I think Auburn does wind up blowing them out. I don't know that Alabama State will be able to score on that Auburn team. It's going to be hard for them to bang it down low. Haven't been a great shooting team from outside recently. So I don't know. I just think Alabama State's kind of out of gas at this point, but 32.5 is a whole lot of points there. So I got to lean in this one. I think I lean the under for the game, under 49.5, but nothing that I absolutely love here either. And I'm going to grab a refill while you're telling the folks I'll be back from McNeese and Clemson.
I agree with you on that, but I decided to play Alabama State team total under 59.5. Auburn's going to be motivated, is going to DM up. Obviously, they're the bigger, more athletic team. But also, Alabama State had that miracle Hail Mary inbound pass that they caught and were able to put up and win the game. But before that, they had to fight back. They were down. They had to fight back, balls to the wall, burn up all that energy, and then that excitement, that thrill of getting that win. I mean, that they know they're not beating a 1 seed. So to come out and that was their Super Bowl, was just to get that one tournament win. I can see them coming out being flat, so that's why I'm going to focus on Auburn can come out and put up 100 if they want to. I don't know if they will, but if they want to, they can. So I'm just going to focus on Alabama State team total under 59.5. I don't see them putting up 60 on this Auburn team. That's wild to me, but maybe they do. I don't know. So Auburn. So Alabama State is my bet. Team total under 59.5 in that one. 59.5. B. McCormick, she says, good morning. Good morning, sir. He says, more Peaberry. Cricket, I found out all these years I've been doing the math wrong.
Yeah.
On trying to figure out team totals before they come out.
Uh-huh.
I found an easy way to do it. Because the normal way I do it is like divide the total by 2 and then take half of the spread and add it or subtract it depending on, who the dog or the favorite.
Yeah.
Found an easier way to do it. I mean, that gets you there, but you're doing a couple extra steps in your head mentally. Easy way to do it. Let's say the game is a 10-point spread. Okay. Total's 140.
Okay.
That's all you got to do. You take the total and you want to know the favorite's team total. Well, you go 140 plus 10, which is 150. Divide by 2, 75. There you go.
Yep.
You want to know the underdogs team total where it's going to be laying at. Then you take 140 minus 10, which is 130. Divide by 2, 65. 65 plus 75 gets you 140.
All day. All day, sir.
I never thought of it that way, and that way is so much easier than dividing it than thinking about what I mean, when it gets tricky, when you have like these 12.5 point favorites, stuff like that.
Yep, you're right, man. Yeah,
just a little nugget out there.
Little nugget, man. Little nugget found in the weeds.
Found in the weeds. Okay, up next we got McNeese versus Clemson. Breaking news out of McNeese: their head coach is leaving. I don't know why you would ever announce that before a tournament game. That cannot be great. I was already fading McNeese because everyone seems to love them because they're 12 over a 5, right? Yep. Which I don't think this Clemson team is a team that you want to be counting out like that. But hey, more power to you. But now, was it Will Wade, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's leaving after this tournament.
Where's he taking the job? Where's he going?
To a different school.
That's fair.
Hold on, let me see. I want to see if I retweeted it. I can't remember. I did not retweet it. Buku said it in the chat yesterday. Will Wade. He's going to go to NC State.
Okay. Mm-hmm. We knew that guy would be back in the major conference for long.
Clemson 7.5 point favorite, minus 350 on the money line. Over under 133.5. What do you think in this one?
I like Clemson, man. I'm taking Clemson. I'm laying the points. I'm going to wind up piling on this one too. I like the Tigers right here. I liked them before the news of Will Wade going somewhere else and all that, but I do think this is going to be a pretty trendy pick with him being the head coach here, having experience in major conferences and SEC and all that stuff. But I like this Clemson team. I think they're kind of slightly underseeded as well. Didn't finish the way they wanted, but I like this Clemson team over McNeese right here. I think it's a 10-plus point win for Clemson.
Yeah, I laid 8 with Clemson, so I got a worse number, but I still like it. Supporting over on Locals said, let the Rumble people know they can watch on Locals. Well, we're hitting a half-hour mark, so it's going to end over on Locals, but that is good to know. So you can watch on Locals. That's cool. That is cool.
All right.
Good to know, but that's another reason why I want to get us to 50 local supporters. It's not just because of wanting. I mean, I make it $2 a month, so it's not like raking in tons of money or anything like that. But that way, if we get to 50 supporters, I think it goes up to an hour after that. So that way, at least there can be an hour if we want to do a Rumble Premium. We usually only do Rumble Premium for about an hour, anyways, at a time. So that way, if you don't have Rumble Premium, you can still watch over on Locals, which would be cool. But then we could also do so many other things that are just Locals exclusive that would be longer than a half hour. So good to know that you can watch over on Locals.
Absolutely.
VCU BYU. This one, I like this one a lot, but I'm nervous because Uncle Dave is opposite of me on this one.
He didn't triple diamond, did he?
I don't know. It's a best bet though. I don't know if it's a triple dime best bet, but it's a best bet. And he went opposite of some other very good cappers that I respect. So I was listening to their show yesterday. It's like, ooh, this is interesting. Don't really like being opposite of Diamond Dave when he's willing to be opposite of these other sharps. So yikes. Although he does like Florida to win the whole thing, so I felt pretty good about that.
Yeah. Yeah, I like BYU in this game, dude. I've liked this team all year. Like gritty, scrappy bunch, can shoot the three. But if they're off, they could be in a lot of trouble. So depends on how VCU can extend the 3-point line, things like that. But I like this BYU team, man. I think 2.5. Anything under 3 right there, I'm gonna lay the minus 105. I don't know that I'm gonna go crazy on this one though, because I don't love it.
Yeah, the total is BYU minus, or the odds are BYU -2, money line -130, over under 146.5. I like BYU. I laid 3 with them. A lot of money's coming in on VCU to get this one done, but this is not your typical BYU team. They're a lot better than they have been in years past. They laid a stinker in their last game, so shooting wise, so I expect them to pick it up this time. And it's in Denver. I just feel like the fact that it's in Denver gives you the edge here with BYU.
I agree. A little elevation advantage.
Yeah, them being used to it is why I like it. So I got BYU there. I got some money line parlays and stuff like that I will be playing, or that I will tell you about when we get through these games. By the way, I did lay the minus 20,000 with Auburn, a 5% play.
What could go wrong? You got minus 20,000 on. You got minus 8,000 on that one.
Like I said, I bet this.
How do I have Auburn minus 32.5 and the money line is minus 8,000, but I got Houston minus 28.5 and the money line is minus 20,000? That doesn't make
tells me
any
that
sense.
book. It tells me that book has some liability on some people taking the long shot underdog, and they just skew the odds a little bit to get some of these sharps to come in and bet some money on the.
We got a 4-point difference on the spread, but a 12,000 cent difference on the money line for the wrong way. That's weird.
I know, it's weird. Another one that's weird is Georgia and Gonzaga. Gonzaga laying 6.5 here, minus 300 on the money line, over under 151. Gonzaga is a analytics darling for this tournament. A lot of sharps like Gonzaga because of that. They rank great in Ken Palm. They started the year off sluggish. They beat Baylor to start the season, which looked great until we found out Baylor is just a terrible team, not the Baylor of the past. They haven't really beaten anyone good since, until they kind of got together, lost to St. Mary's twice, but beat them in the championship game to win their conference. So Gonzaga it looks like they're putting it together here towards the end of the season, and they are 6.5-point favorite over this Georgia team, who did have some nice upset wins in the SEC, did go through the gauntlet of the SEC, but is really not that great of a basketball team if you're comparing to the rest of the SEC. Georgia did lose their SEC game in their tournament too. They only played one. But I like Gonzaga here. I laid it with Gonzaga. What do you got in this one?
I'm not touching this game, man. I can't figure this one out. I want to give this Georgia team a chance right here, but I see a lot of people I respect on the other side of this one, so I'm probably going to decide just to stay away right here. I like the young freshman for Georgia, Asa Newell there, but Gonzaga has been getting much better. You got Mark Pugh, a guy with a lot of experience in this tournament, knows how to win this time of year. They got that crazy streak, Sweet 16s or whatever I believe it is, and I'm not gonna touch this game today. I am gonna watch it with a lot of intrigue though.
Okay, all right, fair enough. Oh, the biggest game of the day, Tennessee versus Wofford.
I don't have an opinion for you on this one.
Lexington, Kentucky.
I don't have. That's a big number for Tennessee right there. You got a Wofford team that can shoot it pretty good at times. Maybe lean the over in this one, over the 133.5. But then you got the blowout factor where Tennessee could just smother this team defensively. I don't have an opinion on this one. That number's probably right on.
Well, let me tell them the numbers. Tennessee is laying 19 on my book, minus 34.50 on the money line, over under 133. I'm telling you, Craig, Tennessee, they ain't losing this match. That's why I put 5% on Tennessee money line. How about that? All right. We love that. I got minus 3,200 yesterday on it.
That's what you got right now if you want to bet it again today, sir.
I'm going to get a couple dollars. I'm going to get a coffee. If it wins, it will pay for a coffee for me today.
You got coffee on the balls, baby.
Yeah. Well, if they lose, I lose a lot of coffees.
I was going to say you lose all the coffee if they lose, man.
There's a lot of coffees. But yeah, I got they're one of my 5% money line bets. But what I do like in this one, As I don't know, I'm with you. I don't know if Tennessee's offense, what they're going to do. I don't think anyone ever knows what Tennessee's offense is going to do. But what I do know is their defense is going to show up. So give me Wofford under 56.5.
I like that. I can see that.
That's like with these big spread. That, as you notice, like I was saying, I don't see a lot of cappers giving out picks on team totals. But that's how I like to tackle some of these ones because especially when I got the second best defense in the country statistically.
Yeah.
In Tennessee, going up against Wofford. Let me go ahead and take Wofford's team total under. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. No, I like that. I like that. It could be. They should be geared up, ready to go. Especially after taking on the chin with Florida on Sunday. You should see them geared up, ready to go in this one.
Mm-hmm.
So I like that.
It's Kansas versus Kansas. How about that?
How about that, man? Little Bill Self Calipari action right here.
Do you know what state was discovered first, Kansas or Arkansas?
I would assume Arkansas.
Oh, it was Kansas actually.
Was it? Okay.
And it sounds
I was
like
just thinking working east to west. I think we would get to Arkansas first.
Apparently it was Kansas, and I feel like they might have had a dispute back in the day, and half the population left and said, "This is our Kansas over
this
here.
Is our
you
Kansas,
stay in your Kansas,
your own Kansas." I like it. With it. Who wins the Battle of Kansas today?
Oh man, that's funny. Kansas laying 5 minus 218 on the money line. Over under of 145.5. Yeah. So Kansas. Let's see. What did I bet in this one? I laid minus 4.5 with Kansas. I know you like Arkansas, but I just can't get past the Calipari. I know he's done well as an underdog in the first round historically, but if you go back and look, I mean, this Arkansas team, they started playing better down the stretch, but I think did start the SEC 0-5.
They've got healthy though, man. They had a lot of injuries early on. They've gotten healthier down the back stretch here. They got some key cogs in that wheel that weren't there early on.
And this Kansas team can't play a lick outside of their home court. So that makes me nervous too. But I just thought there was more value on Kansas than Arkansas here. So I went with Kansas in this one. Wouldn't surprise me if I almost bet Arkansas money line at plus 170 just because of the value. But ultimately, a little 1% play on Kansas in this one because I think they get it done.
It's fair to take the spread. You take a minus 5.5.
I got minus 4.5 yesterday.
Okay. It's probably still around that. Looks like it's about minus 5. You got minus 15 on the plus 5.5 for Arkansas. So really about minus 5 in this game. I like the plus 180 on the money line for Arkansas. I do think there's some value there. That's what I'm going to wind up doing. I'm going to wind up putting a unit on Arkansas plus probably 4.5 to get minus 105. And then I'll put the full unit on the money line for Arkansas right here. I just haven't got a lot of faith in this Kansas team this year.
Yeah, I don't blame you. That being said, Yale, Texas A&M, another darling of everyone here is in these tournaments is taking the lower seeds. A lot of people on Yale taking the 8 or the 7.5, whatever your book has it at. My book has it currently at Texas A&M minus 8, money line minus 315, over under of 139.5. I don't know if I trust Texas A&M to cover 8 against anyone in the country.
Right. I'm with that.
So I can't take them here on the spread. I do think there is value on them because everyone is just in love with Yale. They remember Yale knocking off Auburn in the first round last year. But that Yale team last year was like, I think 56 in KenPom or something like that. They're like 92 this year. So it's not the same Yale team. This Texas A&M team is going to smother you and play physical and is going to be a bigger, more athletic team than the Yale team. I think the value is on A&M. I just don't know if I trust A&M to ever lay 8. So I did play A&M on the money line in a parlay instead. So that's how I tackled it.
I think I like Yale team total under.
Okay.
In this one. I like that Texas A&M defense. I like what they've been able to do defensively all year long. And it feels like I saw Yale struggle in a couple of those games in the Ivy League tournament when the team could really find a defensive game playing against them there. If they're not hitting the ball hitting deep from outside, then they will struggle in this one. I kind of like the team total under for Yale in this one.
Mighty Megatron here says, how about Xavier last night? Yeah, good win. Good win.
Good win. Yeah.
Pedro says, double dog dare you, yeah, money line Arkansas and Utah State money line plus 750. Woo. Woo.
Megatron likes Creighton over Louisville. I'm on the other side of that one, man. I'm gonna have a big play on Louisville today.
What do you mean you can't see the bracket? Oh yeah, you can't see other people's bracket not until tip off. Ooh, Mighty Megatron's A&M will easily cover. Yeah, you have way more faith in that offense than I do, sir. But best of luck to you.
That's what I'm saying. I think I like.
I had to bet it. I would lay it, but I don't have to bet it, so I'm just gonna.
Right, don't have to bet it.
Don't have to bet it. We got Drake in Missouri. Missouri laying 6.5 against Drake minus 255 on the money line. Over under 133. Got an opinion on this one?
I don't, man. I don't. I kind of like this Drake team, but they're another one of those public darlings that a lot of people are liking here. And Missouri's been solid. I think I'm almost going to flip around. I think I'm going to wind up laying it with Missouri.
Yeah, I just stayed away. I don't got anything on this one. I'm with you. I don't like this public darling Drake. I mean, Drake is 30-3 on the season, but still, I don't trust him.
I like that Missouri team too. I've been high on that Missouri team all year long, so it's gonna be hard for me to turn around and just flip against them right now. I probably need to bet Drake because I got a little ticket on Missouri to go to the Final Four just in case. So I probably need to bet Drake, but I don't think there's a lot of value there, man. I don't. I think it's a public darling. I think they're gonna wind up getting thumped.
Drizzy Drake. Next up, we got Utah State over in UCLA. UCLA laying 5.5 minus 240 on the money line, over under 144. Everyone seems to love this Utah State team. I just can't get behind them because that conference is terrible. The Mountain West is terrible statistically this season.
Yeah, dude.
I think it's a lot of fool's gold. But the same thing is, I think the Big Ten is fool's gold too. I think it's one of those ones where they look good because they're playing against. They're all a bunch of scrubs, and you got. We're gonna find out. We're gonna find out what the Big Ten is.
Yeah, we're gonna see.
But sure. I know the Mountain West is not good.
Yeah, and this is another one that I'm kind of probably going to wind up staying away from. Thought I like Utah State plus 5.5 right there. The money line's off a little bit compared to what that line is, so I don't know here. I don't know. I'm just going to kind of leave this one alone.
That's pretty funny, Greg. Mighty Megatron says Drake to go to the Final Four. You mean the shitty rapper? You should check your ticket, Craig. See if it says, will Drake, the rapper, show up for a Final Four game?
Yeah, man. Yeah. No. I don't have Drake to the Final Four. No. I have Missouri to the Final Four.
Maybe you should place a bet that Drake will show up to a Final Four game.
Yeah, that's probably going to happen, man, especially if doesn't he like Kentucky quite a bit?
I don't know what he likes.
I think he's a big Kentucky homer or whatever.
I did play Utah. I did play Utah State, UCLA first half under 67.5.
Okay.
The only reason why I did that is because this is a later game, but it just falls into the trend of first half unders. I liked it, and if you look, the average scoring over the last 3 tournaments for the first half on these Thursday games. So I'm getting very specific here, but if you take all the Thursday games of the first round, last 3 tournaments, the average scoring in the first half was 66. So since this was 67.5, I said, what the hell? Let's go for it.
Just go for it.
Yeah.
What could go wrong?
We got just 2 terrible teams, I think, in my opinion. Yeah. I don't think we're going to be lighting up the scoreboard here.
Winner of this gets the balls. So,
yeah.
Go Vols.
Then we got Omaha versus St. John's. Johnny's are very.
I think I like St. John's, man.
Ooh. St. John's laying 18.5 minus 3,500 on the money line, 147.5 total. You like the Johnnies laying the big number, huh?
I think so, dude. That's a good basketball team right there. I think everybody's going to be a trendy upset pick for a lot of folks. This damn team might run to the Final Four. This is a good that's right, Megatron. I think this is a good basketball team too, man. I like the Johnnies right here. I do. I think they might blow the damn doors off. I think you take them first half and for the game, man.
Okay.
Tell me what you think, man.
It's a big number. That is a big number. I don't know what to expect from St. John's in this one. I do know that they've got a camera crew. They're doing a documentary or something on this season or something. And but they do have a camera crew following them around. So I expect St. John's to be motivated. They obviously are the better team. I expect them to keep trying. I kind of like the fact that they've got that camera crew on them because that means I feel like they're going to try. And I feel like the backups, if they do have a big lead in the second half, I feel like the backups are actually going to try hard. I mean, typically backups do try hard, but I feel like they're going to be really motivated to try hard just to get Patino's attention. Show him some things, so maybe they're fighting for playing time, actual real playing time. I don't know how much that matters now. I feel like he's got a feel on his team and who he's going to play in this tournament. But I like that more for covering this big number. Ultimately, I went with Nebraska, Omaha team total under 63.5.
Okay.
Because I do expect them to try hard all the way through this game, so I expect that defense to be there for the Johnnies.
Yeah, I agree with that. I do.
Next
I
up,
think Omaha's going to have all kinds of problems today.
Next up, we got Michigan and UC San Diego. UC San Diego, a 12 darling.
And I hate Trinity picks, dude.
The Big Ten champion, Michigan, is only laying 2.5 to UC San Diego. Minus 138 on the money line, over under 142. I hate trendy picks too, but I looked at it and I said, screw it. I put a 2% play on UC San Diego money line plus 123. And the reason why I did it is this team shoots a lot of threes and makes a lot of threes. And I think the Big Ten is not as good as they look. Congrats, Michigan, for winning the Big Ten. They started off hot, stumbled in the middle, but then figured it out and ended up winning the tournament. They played on Sunday. I know I said those stats really don't matter, but I still think if you got a San Diego team that is hitting their threes, I don't know if this Michigan team can keep up. So I think UC San Diego's got a puncher's chance in this one.
And what are we playing this in Denver? Is that where we got this one?
No, this one is being played. Oh yeah, in Denver.
So see, I feel like it's a little easier travel for UC San Diego right there.
Yeah, versus Michigan. They play at below sea level.
Yeah, well, that's the only thing that scares me a little bit. See, this is another one of those damn games where I'm like, it almost feels too sharp and square to take UC San Diego. You know what I'm saying? You got a team in Michigan that's battle tested, just won the Big Ten, should still be a little excited, but we've seen that before. Teams, you saw Auburn last year run through the SEC tournament and then wind up dropping in the first round to whoever the hell it was. But
Yale. It was Yale.
Was it Yale? Yeah, that's right. It was Yale. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. It feels almost too sharp to take UC San Diego.
I'm just going based off of listen. This team can shoot threes and the other team can't. So
yeah, that's true. And 3 is more than 2.
It doesn't mean they're going to be on. Doesn't mean they're going to be hot. But if they are, I feel like if you're getting plus money on it, then that's value.
I think so too. I think you're probably right. The value is probably on the plus 120 for UC San Diego there. Because if Michigan does wind up not being able to shoot very well tonight, they're going to find themselves in a hole that they may not be able to get out. That team ain't built to score in bunches and be able to come back from a big hole. So,
yeah. Plus, you got UC San Diego. Well, and also you've got the Big Ten and stuff with all this different travel throughout the season. I think that's catching up on a lot of these teams.
Is that catching up, or is that maybe playing to their benefit at this point?
No, I think we've seen it in some of the. I think we saw it in some of the conference tournaments. Some of those teams that just came out flat, and didn't play up to expectation. Yeah, and then now you got Michigan, who ended up. I mean, they were in Indy, so it wasn't like that big of a deal. Right. Now you get a guy to travel out to Denver. You got to play at elevation, which will make you tired more in the second half. And plus, let's be honest, UC San Diego, they're having a hell of a year. No one expected them to be here, and they get to go take on the Big Ten champs in Michigan. I bet those Michigan players have never even been to San Diego, and all these San Diego teams know who Michigan is, right? So they're just I expect them to just play loose and just have fun.
This could be one you could do it both ways. Probably you could take a same game parlay for, say, UC San Diego first half, Michigan money line for the game, or vice versa. You could probably do that both ways in this one, and probably be all right.
Yeah,
you get some good value.
I think what you would do is do UC San Diego on the money line, and then do that UC San Diego first half, Michigan for the game.
Yeah, I like that. I do. I think you
Right,
can do that.
Megatron says St. John's is going deep. I don't know, man. Unless I think St. John's might just be a soaker. They just might be stuck in there where they're at. Get it in there.
No soaking allowed.
Oh, heavy steps.
Heavy steps, man.
Yeah, so I got a 2% play on UC San Diego money line in that one, and that'll be it for my picks other than the parlays, which I'll give you after we talk about this last game. UNC Wilmington versus Texas Tech. Texas Tech currently laying 14.5 minus 1,700 on the money line, over under of 143. A lot of people love this Texas Tech team to make a deep run. A lot of people think if Texas Tech makes it to the Elite Eight against Florida, that they can upset Florida. What do you think about this matchup?
I like Texas Tech, man. I like the Texas Tech squad. I've liked them all year long. I don't know that I'm going to lay the 14.5 right there. This, like I said, there's several of these games today, man, that I don't love. I'm kind of on the fence with a few of them. And 14.5 feels like quite a bit with the UNC Wilmington, another team that can shoot the three. I don't know, bro. What do you do? Tell me something to bet in this one.
I got nothing in this one.
I got nothing either, man. I don't know what to do. It's a late one. I ain't gonna get to watch none of it.
Here you go. If you need some action in this game, just put a couple of units on Texas Tech money line. Get you free coffee.
It's your free coffee? Okay. I'll get me a free coffee, man. I like free shit. For sure.
Here's some of the other bets that I have. Actually, I did do that. That was my last one. So Tennessee minus 3,200 was another 5% play, and then Texas Tech minus 2,200. I got a worse number. I hate it. I'm gonna have to remember that. I thought if I bet the big money lines early that they would favor me, but good to know that I should wait until game day.
You're a crazy asshole to be putting all this money on these big ass money lines like this in March Madness.
I know.
You're crazy, man.
But I'm not like
hell. If you lose one of them, you're screwed.
Yeah, but I don't think but the crazy people are the ones that instead of doing that, they take all 5 of those and parlay them together. And now if one loses, you're really screwed. Instead, I'm taking them individually.
What is the odds on that if all those are parlayed together? Well, still probably minus 450 or something.
Well, let me just grab it right now. Hold on, just thinking about that. So we got Tech. We got Tech. We got Tennessee.
Make it up later, man.
Yeah, we make it up later.
Yeah, what could go wrong?
Nothing.
Easy money. Just laying there for you to take, man.
Since we've been doing the show, Auburn went from minus 9,000 to minus 11,000 now.
Let's see. I got them at minus 8,000.
Yeah, mine is moving all over the Houston number. Okay, so I got Wisconsin, Houston, Auburn, Tennessee, Texas Tech money line together. We'll pay you minus 606.
Minus 606. Yeah, bet that.
$6 to win $1.
Oh man, that feels awesome.
So instead, I'm just taking. Listen, it's money on the floor. I'm taking it. Here are my other parlays. I got 2% parlays that I'm doing today. Money line parlays. So I parlayed Purdue, Clemson, and BYU. That pays plus 170. I parlayed Gonzaga, Texas A&M, and Kansas money line parlay, and that's plus 165.
Okay.
Go wrong.
What could go wrong?
But as long as one of those wins, we're good.
Just need one.
Just need